Hello everyone and welcome to the first cookie chat in quite a long time. I just want to get a few things out of the way at the beginning. First and probably most obvious, why does Cookie Clicker look like this? Well, whenever NVIDIA drivers update, it kind of does this until I restart my browser, and I can't restart my browser right now because I have uploads. So we're just going to have to kind of use our imagination for wrinklers in the cookie. But you can still see the wrath cookies and the reindeer, so it's still functionally the same. Um, the only bad thing about it is it's hard to know when Christmas is over unless you actually check your status. Other than that, um, someone was supposed to be arriving about an hour and 20 minutes ago, and I was waiting for them to come home and go to bed before I recorded this, but they just never showed up, so I'm just going to chance it and do it now. So if there's a break or a noise or anything like that, it means I probably have awful luck and timing and they just decide to show up. And also, obviously, I'm back from rather long time off. I don't even have the best excuse. I remember months ago I was uploading. I had taken the time, I was uploading videos, and I had put in all this information, type descriptions and all that for like 5 videos or something like that. And there's a very specific part of my laptop that if you lift it from there, it just kills the laptop. And that happened, and if you're uploading a video to YouTube, you can put your laptop to sleep, you can hibernate your laptop, you'll open it up, it'll still be going. It'll go at a slower rate, but it'll still go. You shut it down, that's it, you're done, you gotta do it again. And that's my least favorite thing about making YouTube videos, is putting them all in the uploads, typing up the descriptions and stuff. So I was kind of getting burnt out anyway, and where I work, summer is pretty busy. It's not even so much the hours, because I technically get scheduled the same hours. It's just that less people work there now, so we all have to do more work. I'm just way more tired, and honestly, I'm on closing full time again, and sometimes I'm scheduled to get off work at 10:30, sometimes I don't get out of work till 11:45. So I actually almost had a day a couple days ago where I was closing with one of our worst employees, and because of him, we almost got locked in the store, because if you aren't out by midnight, the door's locked. There's still people there, but they don't have keys, and the only way out is through the emergency exit, which triggers the alarm. So you'd have to wait till 3, 4 in the morning for the overnight manager who has the keys to get in. Nobody wants to do that. Oh yeah, to make matters even better, when we were caravanning the garbage to the garbage place in the back of the store at the end of the night, we had to caravan it because no one had taken garbage in my department all day. Very nice of them. And David, the guy I was closing with, did it first. He was in the first wave. He crashed in front of the doors to the back of the store. And he didn't just crash. It spilled everywhere and it blocked the way. So instead of just rolling on up to the thing and chucking the trash and cardboard in the compactors, we had to run. And I really did not want to be there till 4 in the morning. So anyway, that's my excuse. Work is exhausting, but yeah, I just had 3 days off in a row, so I figure I can, put the videos on my laptop on the internet, make more videos. I can already tell I'm kind of rusty. I was listening to some of the stuff I recorded in the last few days. There's a lot of dead air, which I find that's a problem I've had in games that I've played before, but I don't have intimate knowledge of. Like, if I played this game once or twice, I know enough about it that I'm not engaged enough to talk about it, but I don't know enough about it that I can just start talking about stuff, Like Resident Evil 4, I was even having trouble with that game, but I know enough about that game that should be able to just talk and talk and talk. But I wasn't doing so well at that. Oh boy, if I remember right, I know I put it on the video, it was May 5th was the last cookie chat I made, and I didn't even go up till yesterday, so man, so it's been probably late April, May. It's the last time you saw one of these. So I have a lot of things have been happening. It's August 20th now. I went to EVO, Evolution 2015, which, if you don't know, is the biggest fighting game tournament in the world. I went there. Well, I flew out by myself to start with. I kind of wanted. It's in Las Vegas, so I wanted to treat it as, this thing I was going to, this great experience. But I also wanted to just take the time to take a vacation. So a bunch of my friends were meeting me there, but they were driving, and I flew up a few days early to kind of just chill. I'm not a big fan of sharing hotel rooms. I'm really introverted, and I'm comfortable being around people all the time. I've gotten better about it over the years, but when I'm on a trip where I'm going to a major city, because I'm from a town of about 120,000, it's like 105,000. So it's not a small town, but it's spaced out, and it's not super crowded. When I'm going to a place that's more crowded than that, and then I can't get away from it when if I have to share a hotel room with people, that makes me uncomfortable. I really need time to decompress and just kind of chill. And that was really nice to be able to do on the trip. I had a room all to myself, and it's really nice. It's really nice. But anyway, went to that. I competed in Ultra Street Fighter 4, Mortal Kombat X, Killer Instinct, Super Smash Bros. Melee, and Super Smash Bros. 4. I think they're just calling it 4. That was an interesting experience. It's real quick how you lose at EVO. Lose twice, you're done. That's it. And that happened pretty quick. The way this tournament works is it's a whole bunch of little tournaments feeding into a big tournament. So, you would go into your pool, which is a 16-man bracket. Top 2 move on. Someone won and you just keep going like that. But you always keep your losses. So if you lost in that first bracket and you want to go all the way to the top, then you better not lose again. It's real demanding of the winner. Makes it all that more impressive. So I think what I ended up doing is I went 0-2 in Street Fighter. I went 2-2 in Mortal Kombat. I went 1-2 in Melee. I went 0-2 in 4, and I went 1-2 in Killer Instinct. One of my friends that I went up, my best friend Connor, we actually both got on stream for Killer Instinct. Each of us went up against one of these Japanese players in Killer Instinct, and we got destroyed. When you're sitting on deck to get on stream, they have you write down a little bit about yourself, what do you want to go as, what's your name, where are you from, and my handwriting's not normally that good, but I didn't think it was this bad. My tag should have said MTI Chris Shower. MTI stands for Montana Illuminati, which is our team name, and what they ended up putting was MTF Chris Shao. So they just left the R off. It was SCHAUE, and it was not a good. I didn't feel too great about that. I also mismapped my buttons, so I was getting weird moves, and I was so stressed out from being in the situation. I figured it out eventually, towards the end when it was kind of too late to help. But even then, I was like, okay, I want to do this move. There's alternate inputs I could have done to do a lot of these moves, and I didn't do it. And yeah, well, it's amazing the kind of pressure you're on when you realize that you were on that stream. And it's not me making these YouTube videos where maybe 2 or 3 people are going to see them. There are thousands of people, probably tens of thousands of people from all over the world watching me right now. And there are professional commentators talking about me right now. It's a real humbling and scary experience. But it was really cool. One of the nice things was there's so many well-known people in the fighting game community, and they're there. I mean, it's not they're just walking around. There's a Connor bumped into like probably the best. He won EVO, the probably the best Mortal Kombat X player there is, Sonic Fox. He's a real big fan. He bumped into him. He was like, "Oh hey, sorry." He's like, "Oh hey, you're Sonic Fox," and they just started launching, and he had a question he really wanted to ask him. He's like, "Hey, why'd you stop playing Aaron Black?" He's like, "Oh, Aaron Black's bad now." And I think he ended up winning with Aaron Black. So yeah. Um, Jamie Lee Curtis was there too. Apparently, it was a graduation gift for her son that he really wanted to go to EVO, and he wanted her to take him. I actually saw her, but I didn't notice her at the time. She was in incognito. She went as Vega, so she had the mask on and like a tan colored bodysuit thing going. It was pretty cool. Um, what else has been going on? Man, it's hard to get back into the swing of a cookie chat. The cookies. I actually want to have a bit I want to say about this game. I check this guy's Tumblr like every few days or so, and it's always like, man, I'm working on that update. Gonna get that update out eventually. I was actually listening to a cookie chat. The last one I posted, not the one I posted a day ago, but the one before that, and I remember talking about how he just said, "Oh, the update's coming." When? This game hasn't been updated meaningfully in like year and a half at least. The last major update was Easter, and Easter was a good update, but that was Easter 2014, and honestly, I think that update was like 2 months late. So, yeah. So maybe like a year and a few months sounds better. Because, I don't have all the achievements in this game, but I'm pretty close. There's always just that one achievement or so, like 400 cursors. That's gonna take forever. Or this one is resetting with 1 octillion cookies total. That's gonna take a while. I mean, the way this game works, you can pretty much cheat however you want, because I don't know how to explain so well, but you can just go into the game and just type, "Hey, I want this and this for myself," and you can get it. But I kind of want to get everything legit, so that's what I've been doing. It. I actually had a run where Elder Frenzy. Clicking those cookies, so good. Okay, I actually had a run in which my where is it? Where? I got that thing where I'm kind of halfway between sneezing and not sneezing. It's really annoying. Alright, my sentry egg. The way the sentry egg is, the longer you go on, the bigger the bonus it is. The sentry egg bonus ends after 100 days. And I'm not sure when it happened, but I noticed one day that my CPS wasn't going up, and you can tell by turning short numbers off and just watching, it'll slowly or gradually go up. See, and it wasn't doing that, so that session went beyond 100 days, and I reset, and there's really not much to accomplish in this game other than just getting stronger. It's like grinding in a game, except there's nothing to grind for. There's no enemies to fight. So I would like for things to progress. The fabled dungeon update, which has been rumored for years, I wish he would just finish it. It'd be very nice. Maybe spend a little more time doing that, a little less time emigrating to the Netherlands, unless immigrating to the Netherlands is going to help. Maybe that's not very nice. I mean, I'm sure he's moving for personal reasons, and I hope the move works out well for him. Anyway, what else has been happening? Oh yeah, I cut my hair. before I went to Vegas. My hair was actually long enough to donate to Locks of Love, which is a charity that um, helps give kids who have lost their hair due to like chemo and stuff like that. They make wigs for them. So that was kind of cool. Got a free haircut out of that. I didn't even know that was a thing. I just went in to get my hair cut because I figured it's gonna be hot. It was very hot. So I better not have my hair the way it was, because it was really long. And the funny thing is now that it's been, let me see, about a month? Yeah, about a month since my haircut, maybe a little more. And every once in a while my hair like brushes up against my forehead and I'm like, oh, that's so annoying, it's so long. When before I could like tuck it underneath my chin and I could like totally hide my face behind my hair. It was pretty bad. So other than EVO, Vegas was pretty great. I ended up staying at Bally's because that's where it was hosted, so they had deals for us. So when I finally decided, okay, I'm gonna go gamble, like I'm gonna hit the blackjack tables because I like blackjack, and it has decent odds, a lot of skill affects it. Not so much skill, more there's a table of let me see, blackjack. There's a table that you can memorize, depending on what kind of blackjack you're taking, because there's thousands of different variants of blackjack. But basically, you memorize this table, and you play by the table. And that bumps your odds up to high 90s. I heard one guy who wrote a guide on it. He basically said that if you're playing perfectly by the guide, you have like a 98 or so percent odds, which, you know, the house is still going to win in the long run. But they give you free drinks, like, they do give you comps. He said if you're playing like that, it's pretty much free entertainment, but man, as a first-time player, and why did I stand up? I'm standing up right now. I'm gonna sit down. As a first-time player, it's very hard to when you're in the table and there's all the bright lights and all the craziness going on. It's hard to memorize this little thing. And I had kind of a humiliating first time. So I go down to the gambling floor. I go up to the cashiers and I say, "Hi, I'd like $100 worth of chips, please." And she said, "Oh, you get your chips at the table." I'm like, "Well, that was embarrassing. Thank you." I didn't actually say that's embarrassing. I said thanks and I left. My thinking was, where else would you buy your chips? And I think it's like that in Fallout New Vegas, although lately I've been questioning if that's true or not. So then I walked by the tables, I just took a look, and then I was still kind of mentally panicked from that, because I'm a very easily embarrassed person. So, I walk by a table, I'm like, that looks like blackjack, I'm gonna sit down. So I walk up to the dealer, I say, "You got blackjack here?" He's like, "No, 3-card poker." Like, oh, okay. So I leave. And I walk up to it, and then I notice there's signs, there's very bright, colorful signs that say what game is at what table. And I walk up to a table, I say, "That says blackjack. This is definitely blackjack." I walk up, pull out 2 20s, hand them to the dealer. She gives me $40 of chips. Then I notice it's a $25 minimum hand table, and I'm like, shit. Well, I've looked like a fool 2 times in the last minute. I gotta at least play a hand. So I bet 25, play a hand, lose. I'm like, shh. I take my chips and I leave. I went up to my room and, like, felt awful for a while. Like, not even awful, just embarrassed and, like, felt like an idiot. Then after a while, it was either the next day or it was a few hours later, I went back down, I found like a $10 minimum table. That's fine, that's comfortable. That's about as good as you're gonna get on the strip. There's a few $5 tables on the strip, but they're hard to find. Um, I was at this table alone, and the dealer, not the nicest person. You know, I'm still new to this. I don't know all the nuances and stuff. So, like, I put my bet out, and then she would, like, or, like, I would hand her, like, $100, because I was going to buy $100 of chips. But then she was, like, tapping the table, like, put it in the bet spot, like, lady, I'm just trying to hand you $100. Like, I understand there might be a proper way to do this, but you could be a little nicer. You know, this is a hotel casino. Tourists come here. Be nice to the tourists. You're a dealer. You get tipped. You know, do you want tips? So, I actually did kind of well at the table, even though she was kind of a bitch and she was, like, staring at me the whole time. I think I ended up winning, like, $60. Felt pretty good about it. Walked upstairs. I felt a lot better about the whole thing. I stood up again. What am I doing? Felt a lot better about the whole thing, and, you know, then later I went down and I probably lost, like, $200-300 on blackjack, but it's fine. You know, I wasn't there to make money. I was there for the fun, for the experience. And, you know, I feel like I had $300 worth of fun. I was at the table at, like, 3 in the morning one night, and this guy next to me, you know, we were talking and stuff, just having a good time. He was betting a little higher than me. He was betting, like, 25 to 75 a hand. And then he was like, oh, it's like 3:30 in the morning. Gotta go to bed. And he counted his chips, like $350. Puts it on. Busts. He's like, well, good night. Felt kind of bad for the guy. What I did notice is the American dealers. I mean, I have a very small sample size, so this probably isn't statistically relevant, but the American dealers, bitches. Foreign dealers, very nice. So, go for the foreign dealers. Very nice. I even tipped my last dealer, even though I lost, it was only $1, but I don't care. I just wanted to know, you know, thank you for being nice. When you're in a town that's all about money and how fast they can get it from you, it's always nice to see someone who's nice and friendly and not just trying to hand you cards to go to the strip club. So, good on her. That blackjack was actually pretty sweet. It was I can't remember the name of it, but the way it worked was, you place your bet. It was a $10 minimum. Then the dealer shows her first card, and if you want to, you can make another bet of the same of your bet or lower. So if she turns like a face-up 6, there's a high chance she's going to bust. So you would double your bet, and you can make a lot of money that way. That actually seems like the good way to go. Didn't always work out so well, but you know, it was fun. If you find a table like that, I recommend you give it a try. It's pretty fun. Let's see, what else do I do? That's Vegas. Herpa-derpa-derpa-derp. What, it was very, very hot, like 105 all the time. Getting there was a nightmare. I was scheduled to leave Billings, Montana at, what was it, 9 p.m. And throughout the day I had been getting emails and text messages and phone messages from the airline, Allegiant Airlines. You know, I'm just going to accept I want to stand up right now. Allegiant Airlines, saying that my flight keeps getting delayed. It ended up getting to the point where we didn't think it was going to get delayed again. It was set for like 10:30 or so. So my dad, his girlfriend, and I went out to dinner downtown, which is about halfway to the airport. Had a nice meal, and then halfway through the meal said, hey, your flight got delayed till midnight. So, awesome. And every time they did that, I had to call the hotel and let them know that I was getting delayed so they wouldn't give my room away. And they almost did, apparently. So, got on the plane at midnight, which is fun. It was more like 12:30, because, you know, these things are never on time, even when they're late. Then we, no, there's no we, I'm on the plane alone. It was a very boring 2 hours. Landed at McCarran, which was kind of cool, because I'm a big Fallout fan. Fallout New Vegas is my favorite. There's a lot of similarities with that airport. Oh, Frenzy. And a reindeer, that's so good. So, I got to McCarran. Um, was trying to figure out how the whole shuttle thing worked, because they're like, oh, just get a shuttle there. I'm like, okay, how do I get a shuttle there? 2 in the morning, not the time to figure out how shuttles work. So after standing around the shuttle area and being confused for a while, I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna get a cab. So I go out to the cab, and I see there's a line. I don't see how to get to the line, because like it's blocked off from where I am. And then some guy's like, hey, you need a cab? Like, well, don't just stand there. You're going with this gentleman. I'm like, I think I accidentally just cut the whole line, but I'm like 5 hours behind on my vacation, and I'm confused, and I just want to go. So got in the cab. It was the driver's last fare of the night. So we talked, and he was giving me some tips on Vegas, on just the rundown on the city, like any good cabbie does. It was pretty funny, because with his accent, he was talking about how, um, you know, oh god, what was his accent? I can usually do this on command when I tell the story, but then now that I'm like sort of on the spot making a video, oh god, how did he talk? Okay, so basically, what he was saying, he was listing off all these things you can and cannot do in Vegas, like, in Las Vegas, prostitution, illegal. Drinking in back of cab, not illegal. Escort girl, not illegal. But with some of these girls, you take them back to your hotel room, they put a little cocaine in your drink, you wake up, everything's gone, you gotta be careful. That's about as close as accent is. I think that's close, pretty close. But yeah, it was just a funny conversation like that, and so I was really pleasantly surprised that he was like nice and felt like talking, because I don't usually like talking and meeting new people. I'm very, very introverted, especially in a big city. Like, I honestly just wanted to get to my hotel, get to my room, and just be done. But by the time I got to Bally's, I had to wait in line, because always, the casinos are never not busy, there's just less degrees of busy. I had to wait in line like 15 minutes to check in. Checked in, they said go all the way to your right, until you find the elevators to go up to your room. I did. I went to the right for a while. I'm like, I'm just standing in the middle of a whole bunch of slot machines. I feel like I made a mistake. I'm like, I'm not going back and asking this. I kept going right, and after waiting through a ton of slot machines and stuff, I finally found the elevator. Went up to 15th floor. I think my room was 1520, something like that. That was higher than that because it was a bit of a walk. But it was 15 something. Go in, set down all my bags. But now I'm kind of, feeling tired, but I kind of want to go do something, because that entire day was pretty much a wash because of all that delay. Thanks, Allegiant Airlines. They're awful, by the way. They didn't even have they still had the guts to charge drinks on the plane. Maybe you could give up like a complimentary 75-cent soda can for being like 5 hours late. 3 hours, sorry. 3 hours late. Still pretty late. But anyway, I got up to my room, set my bags down, went downstairs, played $20 on a penny slot machine, which, by the way penny slots work, you can actually bet like $10 a hand if you turn all the shit on, because there's the amount of lines you have and the multipliers. You can play 1 cent per hand or per pull, but nah. I think that more or less sums up my Vegas experience. I wasn't very adventurous. I was alone a lot of the time. I didn't really have a chance to go out very much because, who wants to go out to a bar and just drink by themselves in Vegas? There was this Asian noodle shop, because the Bally's is connected to Paris, so pretty close inside Paris. was this Asian noodle shop, and I would eat there a lot, like once or so a day. And it wasn't great. It was good. Just wasn't great. It was really cool looking though. Like it was supposed to be like that walkway is supposed to be like a fake downtown Paris, and this part of it was supposed to be like a Chinatown in Paris. It looked really cool. Um, but yeah, they had like Japanese noodle soups, Chinese noodle soups, Thai noodle soups, stuff like that. Real good. Um, Very expensive town, by the way. For like a bowl of ramen, like real ramen, like pork ramen, and a soda with tip, it was like $20 or so. So it's not messing around, but it's not awful. Uh, that was my Vegas experience. We plan on making that a yearly thing. Like we're gonna try and go to EVO. We're gonna now that I personally know what to expect. I feel way more ready. Especially next year, Street Fighter Five. Street Fighter Four is supposed to be done at EVO now. Like there will be a side tourney, but Street Fighter Five is going to be the new hotness next year. It's going to put everyone on an even playing field. That game is only going to be out for 3 months by the time EVO is arrived. So it's going to be a mad dash to get that Street Fighter Five tech. Excuse me. So yeah, I think that's a healthy spot to cut this off. I'm gonna try and get back into making videos more, especially these cookie chats. It's just really nice to it's like a diary, really. It's healthy to get it out there. Put it out there, even if it's nothing necessarily bad. It's nice. It's nice. We aren't meant to keep things bottled up. Not that I was bottling any of this up. I don't know what I'm saying. Okay. The way work has been going lately, I think higher ups are starting to put pressure on all the deli departments to shorten hours because I've been getting some 32s lately, and I'm fine with that. But I don't know. So potentially I might be getting some 32 weeks because I had one this week. Had Monday through Wednesday off, which was pretty awesome, but I have to be back to work in, let's see, 11 hours and 36 minutes, so, no, 12 hours and 36 minutes, so it's rapidly coming to a close. So I'd like to think I'll be able to make more of these. Yeah, even if I'm still getting the 40 with the way it's working. That public school is about to start up. Hopefully it'll start slowing down again because this summer has been killer busy, and people have been quitting, and people get burnt out at this job so quick. It's ridiculous. I don't know how I've made it this long. I'm kind of thinking about going somewhere else just because Connor and I both want to go to this fighting game tournament in Bozeman in October. And he's already requested it off, and the standing policy is 2 people can't request the same day. And, well, they're finally going to have a Killer Instinct tournament. They haven't had one in Montana since the first one, the one that I won. So, I'm still technically the champ. I gotta go defend the belt. So, I'm willing to quit my job to do that because it's something it's important to me. I feel real good about it, so. And I need to end this before I yammer on anymore, so. It's good to be back. If you're new, I hope you'll stick around, and I should end this now. Goodbye.